All right, let's get into the transform tool. So the transform tool, let's say that I want to increase this in size, which is a very common thing to want. I'm going to zoom out a little bit with Command minus. So there we go. We know that shortcut key already. And then I'm going to go into, and remember this drop down because it is a very important one. We haven't done anything with the drop downs yet. Edit, free transform. So this is edit free transform, and this is a really important one. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to hit free transform, and this will allow you to change the size of it. So I can change it however I want. Now, you're going to notice something here. And the big thing you're going to notice is it's squishing and stretching and all of that. So in order to undo that, I'm going to hit Command Z. I think you'll notice by now that Photoshop is a two-handed operation. One of them is on the mouse, one of them is on the keyboard, and if you're not doing it that way, you're doing something wrong. The other thing that you're going to notice is there is a ridiculous amount of keyboard shortcuts, and it is absolutely impossible to try and remember all of them. Well, it's possible to try and remember, but actually remembering all of them is impossible. Like, you're not going to learn them all at once. So I'm going to try to give you tips that make it a little bit easier. So for instance, I'm going to hit Escape, and I'm going to go back to Edit, Free Transform. Whenever you're doing something that has a bounding box, or actually whenever you're doing anything, keep in mind that all of the modifier keys, so by that I mean Command, Alt, and Shift, or Command, Option, and Shift, I guess you could call it, they're all going to do something, and they're all going to do something different. And you do not need to remember what does what. So for instance, with the Free Transform tool, if I were to hit Alt, so I'm just going to hit and hold down Alt, it's going to transform everything from the center, and then Command Z to undo that. If I hold down Command, it's going to do this crazy thing where I'm able to move every little individual point. Again, not what I'm going for, but I'm just trying to reinforce that all of the different modifier keys do something. If I hold down Shift, so this is Shift right here, then it constrains the proportions. And I don't expect you to remember that Shift constrains the proportions, and Alt makes it go from the center, and Command does this thing. All I want you to remember is that each of the modifier keys do something. So generally when going into it, free transform, try one of them, and if it's the wrong one, just hit Command Z and be like, okay, it's not that one. Okay, it's not Alt. And then when you hit Shift, you're like, yay, I figured it out. Go me, I get a cookie. And then eat a cookie. I mean, the options are limitless. So I'm going to, I'm going to hold down Shift, and that's constraining the proportion right here. And I'm going to hit Enter, and now we have this is a little bit bigger. And actually, I want to make it even bigger. So I'm going to go into Edit, Free Transform. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and I'm going to Enter. And then actually, and that's Free Transform right there. So what I want to show you now is how to make it so the flower will actually go above this rather than this going above the flower. In order to do that, I need to introduce you to layers.